All right, good morning, guys. Welcome in. It's House Edge Live. It's John from Casino Gaming Central. Gary, I saw your note there. Same here in Wenatchee. We had snow over the weekend. We had a good 6 to 9 inches over the weekend. It's all gone. Today's going to be 70 degrees. This weird squall kind of came through and just sort of dumped on us, and then it's gone, and now we're back to normal. It's just so freaking weird. And we also had a big windstorm. It's funny, I say this all the time. The weather starts here, right? Washington State. We get the first weather off the Pacific. We get a little bit lighter version of it, and then it kind of goes across the country. We had like 80-mile-an-hour winds a couple of weekends ago. It was pretty bad. It woke us up. All of our deck furniture was all over the place. It was kind of crazy, man. So anyway, here we go. Skill says, by the way, that the what did you say here? The gambler, 30-day gambler, got taken down. I did not know that. Hadn't seen that. Do you know why? Did he give a reason somewhere? YouTube's getting really strict with the gambling stuff. They really are. They're getting extra, a little extra, as they say. With whatever. I get warnings. It's funny. I get warnings all the time about it, not from YouTube, but from other stuff. Like I'm on LifeLock. You guys, by the way, if there's ever to do a PSA, this is the one. LifeLock is amazing. Anyway, LifeLock sends me emails all the time. Oh, we found your email on the dark web, or now I'm getting these like social media scam alert, and it's me. I get my own videos come up as scam alerts, which is awesome because I think they think we're trying to scam people. But yeah, YouTube's tough on that, and they're getting more and more strict. It's becoming gambling channels are going to go the way of the dodo pretty soon. I think you're going to find that YouTube is going to be extra big brotherish on this, and I think you'll start seeing our channels really start to fade away. That's my prediction. In the next little while, you'll start seeing like a Rumble style thing that comes along that will allow it. Maybe even Rumble's the place to be, but that's what's going to end up happening is that YouTube is going to start squashing some of this stuff in the name of protecting people from themselves. So it is what it is. Badger, you're welcome. You're welcome for the weather. We love you guys. All right, let's get to it here. We're gonna have a fun one today. And again, I'm going through, by the way, I think you know this, right? We're going through this sort of a rebirth of the channel, of the show rather. And I'm working through these different ways of like finding a different rhythm to kind of present the content, right? So we're doing, you'll see it. It's a 4-stage sort of show now. Each stage is a 4 or 5 minutes and trying to build on each other. Hopefully that's working out. So we had our first one yesterday. Today's gonna be another one. And it all kind of, again, I have to bring it all together like I do. Let's bring it through the lens of the casino not being your best friend, right? The casinos exist to take your money, right? That business model, the casino business model, is to strip their customers of all their income or of all their money. That's it. That's the whole model. And you got to know that. And again, I love to gamble. I think it's fun. I enjoy it. I think I'm pretty good at it, right? I win more often than I lose probably. But I know, eyes wide open, what we're getting into here when we go. And I think most people don't know that. And I was I was listening to David yesterday go through some of this stuff with the team on the Nexus project, and he's talking about how Vegas it's just a different world over there. No, I don't say nobody. Most people, 90% of people go to Vegas not to win. They're going there just to do their thing, go high class shopping, high class food, whatever else. And that's what it's all, that the town has become catered to that. But we can't forget that this is the actual truth, right? So again, I try and arm us as much as I can every day with tools, right? Tools like the bridge, understanding bankroll risk, really seeing when opportunity arises and brings itself through, right? Having discipline and setting and keeping goals. All that is so important to me, that we kind of get through it. And I'm working really hard on the app with the Casino Quest, right? Trying to build this app that basically brings the bridge stuff to light, because I want you to have the tools to track all this stuff. So you can look at it and go, oh yeah, John's right. Like if I actually look at what I did in the last month, I can see a difference. And that's what kind of it's all about. So anyway, let's get to it here. We're gonna introduce to you a newish kind of strategy. Dylan from Skill and Luck is always thinking, always tweaking, and we're gonna get to one of those today. But before we do, go watch the game tonight. Make sure you guys at 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific. Take a pause, go watch some baseball. If you're not watching the World Baseball Classic, it's freaking amazing. It's unfortunate that they do this and I know why they do it this way. They do it in spring training, during spring training every 3 years. It's like the Olympics of baseball, the World Cup of baseball. It's amazing baseball, but the problem is they do it in spring, so nobody's really warmed up yet. Like the pitchers aren't quite throwing their best, the hitters aren't quite in groove yet, so it's not the quality's a 90, not 100. If they did it instead of the All-Star break for 2 weeks, that'd be awesome. But then you have guys going here. Anyway, it's great baseball. Go watch it. Go watch it. USA's in the finals against Venezuela tonight. Should be a good one. It's been a great tournament so far. So anyway, you know me, I'm a baseball nerd, so we're all in on this. I'm going to be. I actually got up early this morning and worked for a couple hours so I could take off early and watch it. So, all right, here we go. Let's hop in and look at what we're going to do today. So we're going to have the 4 segments. Dig It or Dog It. It's going to be Skills Unicorn. We don't really have a name for it yet. I don't know. We'll think of a name. If it works out to where you guys like it, we'll name this thing, right? Fact or fiction is going to be the hammer beats the nail. And what I want to talk about today is this notion of going for it, right, versus sticking where you are. And we talked about it a little bit yesterday. These strategies like this one that work, where you play away, you make some money, and then you regress all the way down and start at 0 again. We're going to talk about starting at 0 and what it takes to get back where you were, right? So that's going to be the hammer beating the nail today. We'll talk about maybe making a tower on a number for fun, especially on the bubble craps level. And we'll again talk through this idea of kind of fits and starts, which is this sort of tying all the time before you kind of get rolling. So there we go. This guy here, by the way, you're done. You cussed out my buddy Ken yesterday, and I don't think that's appropriate. So bye, bam, boom, Royal Club. That ain't appropriate. We're not scammers on this channel. Ken's not a scammer. Waylon's not a scammer. You're done. That just doesn't happen here. All right. I'm not gonna put up with bullshit anymore from the folks in the audience or anybody else. I'm just done with it. So you just got live banned. See ya. Now, everybody else, hit the like button. Have some fun with me. All right. Here we go. What does skill and luck have in store for us today? Let's go see what this strategy looks like. We're gonna run into Dig It or Dog It, and I don't know why. Oh, it went to the wrong. It should be looking like that. Come on, there we go. Dig It. That's what I want to see. Dig It or Dog It. So this one is going to be interesting. This is going to be kind of a play, if you will, on the retirement plan. So what it looks like is this. It's a $75 don't come, right? Remember, the retirement plan was, $150 or whatever. So we're going to do a don't come. We're going to go across the numbers. We're not going to do a field. We're going to go across at a very specific level. $10 on the 4 and 10, $13 on the 5 and 9, and $15 on the 6 and 8. This is a bubble crap strategy. And you'll see why in a minute. We're going to take one hit and come down to $3 on the numbers. Okay? Plugging off the point, the don't come point. That's the plan. It's the retirement plan, but instead of taking your money and stopping like the retirement plan does, skill regresses down to a very specific point and then goes for it after that. He keeps on playing. Remember, the retirement plan was take your one hit and stop playing. Skill takes the one hit, regresses, and keeps playing. And that's how it's going to be. All right. So here we go. Let's head down to the table here, and I got to move my keyboard and my mouse out of the way for you again, and let's lay it out here so you can see it. I'll do a couple of runs of it. Okay. So we're gonna go ahead and catch a point. Look at the puck and some Yahtzee dice out here, and we got a 6 for the point, which is fantastic. All right. Now let's take. I need to get my rack. Hold on. Get my rack over here. And I'll put some dough in the rack. It doesn't really matter at this point how much just yet. I need some bank money. Hold on a second. I did not prepare my table today. All right, there we go. Bank money's over here. We're gonna go 75 in the don't, and when we get a don't point, we'll set up the box, and I'll add it all up, and I'll put mine in the rack. I'll do it kind of in reverse order. So let's go from the don't. Here we go. It's a 9. The don't goes to the 9. Now that's an unprotected don't, right? If you want to lay something to save the don't on you, right? We talk about options all the time. Don't have to, but we're $75 in the don't. Now here's the plan. Ready? I'll take my 10s. It's going to be $10 on the 4 and 10. It's going to be $15 on the 6 and 8, and it's going to be $13 on the 5. We're gonna place the point, of course, right? So $13 on the 1. Now these numbers are very specific. I'm going to cap that off for you because of what they pay. Okay, 4 and 10 pay $18 each. The 6 and 8, 15 pays $17. 13 on the 5 pays $19, right? 15. I'm sorry. Yeah, there had an extra red there. So 10 pays $14, 3 pays $4. Okay, $18. Right, I'm sorry, this pays $18, right? Everything pays $18 except for the 6 and 8. They pay a little less. All right. That's the plan. What does that add up to? It's 10, 20. 15 and 15 is 30. So 30, 40, 50, $63 is what's out here. And you got 75 on the don't. So the don't is a little heavier than what you have, and that's by design. We take one hit. Here goes one hit, right? It's a 5. Fantastic. Again, 10 on the 5 pays 14. 3 pays 4. $18 payment. So it's going to pay, I'm going to pay it in whites, actually. We're going to get paid 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, $18 is what that pays. $18. Okay. Or not, no, I'm sorry, it pays $19. My bad. $19. $19 it pays. What do? We regress down. Okay. I'm going to put all the regression money back in the rack. Okay. We're going to go 3, 3, 3, 3, 3. Okay. Everything gets $3. You have $4 in locked up profit. $4 in locked up profit. Now remember, you're $63 out of the gate. Okay. On a $75 9, you can place the 9 now for whatever you like. Okay. If you place it for 50, it wins 70 minus the 75. Okay. So that's a $5 difference here. Remember we talked yesterday about plugging the point. If you place the 5 for 60, okay, or 55, let's say 55, 50 pays 70, 5 pays 7. That would pay 77, and it plugs the point. It's a $2 difference. You're either going to make $2 if the 9 rolls. You're going to make whatever that is, 40 or whatever that is. What's the difference there? It's a 65, 70, $20 if the 7 rolls, right? You can make it 65 and go 84 on the win. So you win $9 up here. If you lose, you win 15. I'm going to go $60. Okay. So that's your play. Okay. It's the retirement plan. Now the difference is what skill and luck does is he keeps on going. So at this point, you've profited $4, potentially another 15 here or 9 here, depending on what comes next. Okay. Again, we got $60 out here versus 75. So it's either going to be $15 if the 7 comes, right? Or another $9 if the 9 if the 7 comes and 15 if the 9 comes. All right. That's it. That is the whole thing. That's the whole thing. Play it out. Right. And again, if you catch numbers, you're going to be in great shape. There's a 10, right? So again, 3 will pay. I need some more monies over here. Up to you what you do now, right? 3 pays 6 on the 10, right? Maybe you go 5 to the 10, 5 to the 4. Take $2 back, and you play this thing out like you would. Again, whatever you want to do is up to you, right? You can press collect, whatever it is. That's the whole thing. The difference between this and the retirement plan is that this one does a regression way down, and you get to keep playing. So if you want to hit that strong roller and not have the fear of missing out that the retirement plan can cause you sometimes, this one regresses way back down. And again, it's a $3 set across the box, and you're plugging that point. That's the strategy. That's it. So I want to know, do you dig that, or are you going to dog that? And that's the whole, again, it's the whole thing. It's 75 on the DC. It's 10, 13, 15, 15, 13, 10. One hit, get you $18. You're locked with $4 in profit. You plug the point, that locks up another about $10. So you're looking at about $10 to $14 every time that this thing works out, guaranteed, plus the opportunity to hammer a hot roll. Okay. Now the difference is if you're playing this retirement plan style, I'll take all this down just to kind of show you where it would have been retirement plan style. 10, 10, there's the 13, 15, and 15. Okay. Retirement plan style. Here's your setup. You have the one gaping hole, obviously, right? When this wins, the first move, it's going to pay roughly $18, depending on the number. It's going to be 18, 18. It'll pay 19 here. It'll pay 17 here. So let's call it the middle, $18. Okay. Plus you would plug the number, right? Put the whole $60 there on that number, bring your $3 back. You're locking up 18 plus either $9 or $15. Okay. Let's cut that in the middle. Let's just call it $12. We'll cut it in the middle. On the average, you're going to win 25, $30 on the basic setup. That's the retirement plan setup. The difference is what Skill and Luck decided to do is say, let's lock up only 4 instead of 30 and play it through. Let the game kind of come to you. That's the primary difference. So what I want to know in chat is, do you dig it or are you going to dog that one? What do you think about Skill and Luck's new version of what we would call the unicorn? Let's go back over to let's change the scene back and we'll talk through it a little bit. I'm going to go to the left here. All right. So there it is. $75 in the adult. It's 10 on the 4 and 10. It's 13 on the 5 or 9. 15, 6 or 8. You play 5 numbers, not the point. That's it. One hit, regress down to $3 on all the bets, plug the point, and you go. That's it. That's the Skills unicorn. And it's simple. It's a good little bubble crap strategy. You are at risk, obviously, like the retirement plan, for that big ass don't. The big ass don't come, the $75 don't come. That's the one roll that you're really kind of sweating, right? And then it goes through. The one thing I like about both of those is that once that don't come gets through, the only way you lose that big don't is if the shooter ricochets the number, right? You get it goes to the 9 and they roll a 9 and right back again and takes you off. It happens, but that's unlikely to happen back to back like that. So once you get the don't out, you're pretty safe. A lot of people don't like these big don't strategies because it's a lot of risk for one roll. That 8-1 getting beat by the 7-11 hurts a little bit, but it is what it is, and there it is. So, all right, that's the basic run up of the strategy. Now, let's run to the next part of the show here, which is fact or fiction. And so part of the strategy makes me want to dive in and really get your opinion on something. Do you believe the following statement to be true? Fact or fiction? That the hammer is greater than the nail. And what I just showed you, the difference between the two, right? Regressing to play without any new risk. That we call that the hammer. Okay? Hammer the casino with their own money. Is that better than resetting and restarting? Okay? So as you saw, if I do the move that we just did, retirement plan style, and I just took my don't come through, took one hit and stopped playing, it's $30. I can reset and do it again. And if I do that move a second time, 2 hits later, another don't come gets set, another number gets hit, right? That's $50 or $60. And I boom, boom, right? I'm taking bigger jumps that way. However, if I don't do that and I go and we do like the retirement plan way, which is normally wait the shooter finishes up and do the next shooter, that shooter goes off for a 30 roller, you're kind of watching it going, well, do I play or not, right? You can miss out. The skill and luck way, let the don't come through, take your one hit and not reset, but stay in the game. Use that regression as a hammer. Is the hammer from a regressed bet the best way to play? There's good and bad to this, right? When you hammer down, let me go back to the table again. When you hammer down, where's my, here it is. When you come back down to $3 bets, I'll just do them all at 3, just so you can see the numbers, okay? $3 bets are really hard to make money from. Okay. So once you've, and I'm going to say it out loud, once you've blown $30, and I think we were on the 9, we had the don't on the 9, right? We had $60 out here. So you're going to miss the 9, obviously. But once you've kind of put the $30 back out here at risk, right? We took the, that nice win that we could have had and fished it all back out here again. Once it's out here, you're at zero. Your profit is $4. That's it. Okay. And if you're going to do a press, then collect, which a lot of people will do, let's just take a 6, right? The 3 that pays, whatever, pays $4 or whatever it pays, right? Once you, I think it pays $3.50, but obviously we can't pay $3.50, so we'll just take 3. If you take this and you just press it up there, and then the 7 comes, you got nothing out of it. You got $4, right? And although none of this is risk, all of this is profit, right? So if you're going to press collect, or if you're going to maybe half press and go to 5 and take $1 back, every roll that's not a 7, you're bringing something back. But how many hits at the $3 level that you're not pressing, right? Even if you just collected every single time, okay? $3 here, $4 here, $6 here on the right. If you catch 1 out of every number, let's say every number hits once, you get 6 there, you get 3 on the 6, 3 on the 8, and you get another 10 over here. Every number hits 1 time. So you would have had a 9. You would have had something else hit. That's 2 rolls. And then 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 rolls that are all hits for you. How much would you have made? Let's add it up. There's 10, 15, $22, which is less than 22 plus the 4 is $26. And we had said, if you just took your hit, plugged the point, and went for a walk, it was $30. So even if every number hits 1 time and you never pressed, you're still behind the guy that took 1 hit and waited and stopped. Okay. So you've got to do the math on these things. When you look at what's the best move for me to make, right? If your whole life is driven around, let me catch an amazing roll, this is a great way to get there. This way sets you up to be in position to hammer a hot roll. It does not set you up for consistent profit besides the $4. The $4 is all you can count on versus 30. So remember that. That's the one thing I want to impress upon you, is that if the numbers all come out once each, it's a great roll. That's a 6 or 8 hit roll, and you're still just bringing in the 4, right? So as you're processing these things, right? If it's important for you to be there for a long roll, you play this way. Get out of there with no risk and let it happen, right? If it's important for you to lock up profit, you stop playing. So going back to the previous screen here, right? How do you feel about it, right? What's better, the hammer or the nail? You got to make that call, right? Ken says it in chat. It's a you thing. Do you want to make the call? Is it better for you to play for that long roll, or reset and retry, and take that guaranteed 30 every single time that it works versus the 4 and hoping for it? So again, in full disclosure, I've got to give you both of the options, right? And let you make the call for yourself. All right, here we go. Looking at streak hunting. Now, again, I think it's important, right, that we make some money here. And if you're going to play at bubble craps, okay, hunting down the streaks is a big important part of this thing. And I think that one tool we have in our arsenal is building towers. Okay, at $3, it's hard to make money unless you're going to rack every single one, right? But we've talked about doing these 6 and 8 towers. Bubble craps is a good place to do a tower. And if you've never seen a tower, let me show you how the tower works. It's actually kind of fun. Back to the table we go. And if you've got that $3 across, and again, we'll take the 9 out of it. We'll get $3 on all the numbers. And let's just pick a number, right? Let's pick the 6 as your gimme number. Okay. $3, it actually is okay because the numbers start working pretty well for you, right? But we'll do the $75 9 with the $60 hedge in front. Now, let's say that the 10 hits and the 10 pays $6. Okay. Well, guess what? Boom, all in the 6. Now the 6 looks like $9. Pay $11.50, right? if the 5 hits for $4, right? Put the $3 on the 6. Maybe keep $1, because now your 6 looks like a normal bet. It's a $12 6. If the 6 ever hits for $14, you can do 15. We'll pay it like bubble crap, $14, and you can take it, right? Always collect on one number. Build some number, big and tall, and let just that be your gravy train, right? Let's say the 4 hits, you get a 4 for $6. Well, guess what? Now your 6 looks like 18. And before you know it, you have a number paying you real money. And at some point, the $21, you can make them all look like 5 and do the same thing. Keep building that ladder up. Versus a normal just press collect, or whatever you're going to do. I think that finding fun ways to play, especially when you're playing this risk-free style, when you're playing on casino money and you want to just kind of hammer it out, towering one number is a fun way to go on a bubble machine. Again, if you're there for entertainment and you're there to kind of just, have some fun and maybe take a shot at making some real money, that's kind of a cool way to do it, because these numbers will eventually show. You could tower the 4. I've seen people tower the 4 and just, put everything over here, let this thing build up and hammer a $50 win on a 4, right? That's doable too. Your call. I'm just, again, having fun, giving out an alternative way to just not take $1 back every single time. Take nothing back, let the thing roll. We may look at other bubble craps ways to hammer. Again, from risk-free play. I would never do this out of my pocket. I would do this once I've regressed down. And in fact, if you were to regress and start your whole thing at $1, even better, right? If you started at $1 and you just start whacking one number, it works out just the same. So anyway, there's an alternative way for us to take a look at finding different ways to go big, okay, let's hit this. Let's go. I got to get out of here. I'm figuring out where my mouse is to try and get the screens to work right. So let's go there. Can you work? There we go. Okay. Yeah, that was streak hunting. So the next thing that I guess really is to take a look at what we're going to call the ABCs of craps, and I'm trying to find ways to sort of teach around some of the stuff, and I think we're gonna hit some of the same points here that we just hit, but I want to give you another visual on it. So in today's ABC of craps, what I want to examine is the stop versus go thing, and we've been talking about it kind of all morning. But when you look at playing what we just did, okay, the losses are the same. So if we go down, and I'll go to the table here in a second, but the losses end up being, actually, I think I can do it like this. I think I can just do, if I just switch camera, let me just try this really quick. If I go here and I switch cameras to camera B, that's not going to work. I thought I could get the table in that view. Anyway, if we look at what we just did, and I'll give you a little comparison, right? The losses are the same. The win percentage is the same, but which one's better for you in the long term? Okay, so let's go back down to the table view again, one more time, and let's really kind of dig in and see what we think might be our favorite way to do it. So let's go. Back down we go. So let me get set back up here. I'm going to put the original bets back. Okay, and let's play the whole thing out. We'll really see where we might stand. 15, 6, and 8. 13 on the 5. Okay, there's your original set. We're on the 9. We're in a no 9. And we've got 30 on the 6 and 8 between the two of them. 40, 50, $63 at risk. Okay. Now, if the move works, and I think we rolled a 5 the first time, right? So the 5 paid us $19. Okay, and I recall I paid it in whites. 5, 10, 15, $19. Okay, and the regression happens. We take all the money back. We regress. There's our risk going away. $3 there. $3 here. $4 in profit. Okay, you've locked 4. Now again, if you were to put $60 out here, let's just play this out. You put $60 out here. Let's say the 9 rolls. Okay, 60 pays 84. Okay, 84 minus 75 is $9. Okay, so we get another $9 in profit if you get to roll a 9. That'd be great, right? You would end up with, you're locking yourself up with the little 4 plus the 9. So that's 10, 13 in profit, okay? If the 9 happens to repeat, you get $13, okay? If the 7 happens to come, you would lose 60, win 75. That's a $15 win. Of course, all the other money would go away in that case. I'm going to put this back here, right? And your profit would then be $19. So in both cases, okay, you end up in about the same spot. You're either at 9 plus 4 is 13, or 15 plus 4 is $19, about $19. Okay, now, if you had decided not to do that and just to play it out, or I'm sorry, to collect instead, what it would have looked like for you is that first win of $19. I'll put it out here in front, the $19 win, plus either 9 or 15. Okay. If it's the worst case, then it's the $9 win. Okay. Again, you're still at 25, 28 bucks. Okay. So you're roughly $30 if you just stay where you are. Now, if you're going to just stay and walk away with the 19 bucks, that's a great win, or the 30 bucks, that's a great win. If you're going to play, it doesn't matter. The first move is the same for both players, right? The $75 don't, same risk for both guys, right? The first across spread is the same risk for both guys, right? Both players are incurring the exact same amount of risk at the exact same time, okay? If you're going to keep on going, or if you're going to sit here and play it out, you're going to lose that bet, the 9 bet on the first hit, and you're going to lose on the 7 at the same rate. So losing here, or getting burned early is the same rate for both players. Nobody has any advantage. The difference is, are you okay with the potential of $19 versus 30 bucks? Because if you stop playing, it's $30 in profit. If you keep playing, you're locking up $16 to $19 in profit, about half. Okay. Is it worth burning half the profits to have a chance with every bet being $3 and going for the moon? That's the question you have to answer. That is the thing for you to decide on your own. What is your goal? If your goal is to walk away a daily winner, okay, locking up 19 versus locking up 30 is a bad decision. If your goal is to hit a jackpot, you're never going to do it 30 bucks at a time. If your goal is to really retire, make big money, 30 bucks, 30 bucks, 30 bucks, it's going to take a while. This gives you a chance to bring a $500 table or $500 win. Okay. Again, Ken from Ken's Gambling will tell you it's a you thing. You have to decide what's better for you. But know that staying and playing basically burns this money. This money here is lit on fire. Whatever this was goes bye-bye on that quick 7. You're putting this really not so much out of your pocket risk, but this $3, $6, $9, $12, $18 that could have been yours, you're putting it up for tribute, basically, in hopes of getting a long roll. If that long roll is important to you, then make the bet. If daily profit is important to you, you don't make the bet. You redo the move and take another 30. I would rather take $30 chunks on rhythm versus taking 19-0, 19-0, 19-40, right? That choppiness of it is hard for a lot of people to stomach. So I wanted to give you sort of a lens into both options there as you make your decisions on how to play. So that, my friends, is your craps ABCs today. Stopping and going. And everybody who has a regression strategy faces this decision. Okay. When I do a move to regress versus the guy who doesn't regress, your losses are the same in the early stages. You're both exposed the same way, right? You're both going to win at the same rate. It's really about that third move, right? Do you keep on going, hitting the hammer, or pull back and lock, pull back and lock, pull back and lock? It's going to come down to how often do you lose. And again, a strategy like the retirement plan or the Skill 66 predictably has got about a 60 to 70% win rate. Now, Ken's way ahead on that, but that's what you should see between the losses and the don't come and everything else, about a 60% success rate. So you got to take that success rate and say, well, can I make hay when I'm not successful? Or what, can I make enough hay when I'm successful to pay for the times when I'm not? And I think that a lot of people look at these regressions and forget that part of it. So that's it, guys. Let's go to Q&A. Let's go to Q&A and we'll close the day out here. So I'm going to run through the chat real quick and see if I see any cues in there. I see one. Okay. Victor says, why not make the 6 and 8 12 with 3 on the heart? You can do that. The how do I say this right? It's all about the 7 in those early stages, right? That first hit, you've got the 75 on the no 9. You've got $63 across. Okay. So you've technically got $12 to play with. You got $12 that you have kind of extra. The 7 is going to win you $12 on that first roll. You can burn the $12, right? Make the 6 and 8 a little bit bigger. Make the 5 and 9 15 each. I would go 15 on the 5 and the 9 versus 13. Take a little extra spiff there. Put a buck on the hard ways. Totally fine, right? It reduces how strong the $75 don't is. 75 versus 63 is pretty strong, right? When you do that spread, you reduce the power of that. So those early 7s, you're not going to profit on them. However, grabbing extra numbers is not necessarily a bad idea, right? Especially if on that first hit to maximize it. I think that's pretty good. Kevin, how you doing, man? Good. I'm glad to see you too. Appreciate you, my friend. Let's see, any PC comments in here for me? Probably not. I have one PC. 30-Day Gambler is going to move to Kick. Rumble's too much like YouTube. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, don't get me started on the freaking thought police, but that's what it is. I will tell you this as it relates to this topic: getting the Nexus app distributed out to all the app stores is a nightmare because it's a gambling app, right? It teaches gambling. Getting approval to do things is so hard. You have to jump through so many hoops to get on the App Store, on the Google Play Store. It's a lot of work because there's such a stigma around gambling. So yeah, they're trying to get rid of all of it. It's funny how they will go all in on getting rid of gambling, but not a lot of the other stuff that's piss poor out there in the world. So thought police only attacks the things they don't like, and that's what we're seeing here. So you can get used to. It'll be what it's going to be, guys. I'm not sure where it's going to head, but I'm not heading in the greatest of places for sure. All right, I think is that everything? I think we kind of got our Biloxi's all booked for Jen. Good, you'll be up there at the Brownwater Bash, which is cool. The thought police are worse than the Vig police for sure. Jen, I'm in both formats. I dual stream, so I have a vertical and a horizontal at the same time. The software that I use now does that automatically. YouTube is not yet smart enough to say, oh, you're on your phone this way or this way. I'll give you the right version. You have to kind of pick your poison right now. That'll get fixed at some point soon. So, Dice Dr. Dan wants to know, am I better off starting the come out roll or waiting? If you're going to do a don't strategy, it really doesn't matter except for the one thing. And I say this all the time. If you're going to work the come out roll on a bet that is susceptible to the 7, you shouldn't. Okay. For example, the don't pass. I love the don't pass, but 7-7-7 on the come outs will get you. If you're going to work across, 7-7-7 will take big chunks of money from you because the come out phase allows multiple 7s in a row to happen. If you're going to be replacing your bet, don't work the come out. If you're going to say, I'm going to work the come out one time, if I get whacked, I get whacked, and then I'll reset the next time, different story. But if you're going to work it, come outs are really tough to fight because of the multiple 7s. And that's the one caveat that I give you on that. So I don't mind working the come outs unless you're going to automatically reset things. So there it is. All right. Jen, I get to see them all, actually. My software brings me all the comments to both. The problem with the comments, honestly, is you can't see the horizontal people's comments. So there's not a lot of discussion. You get like 15 people here and 17 people here. They can't talk to one another, which kind of sucks, right? I can see it all, but you can't see each other, which blows. I wish they would fix that. Hopefully in the next couple of months or so, they're going to get that unified and we'll have one feed that works both ways. That would be That'd be the dream, guys. And Waylon says this, which is gold, of course, right? Without a way to recover losses, all strategies are losers, right? Loss recovery is a big thing. We haven't talked about that much. And I will say this too, by the way. I know that you recover loss with negative progressions, which is fine. Loss recovery, if you lose $150 and you have a recovery plan that gets back your 150, so you can go ahead and play again later on, the recovery plan wins you $150. Maybe just play the recovery plan, right? I mean, if you have a win goal of a reasonable size and you have a way to recover $150 loss, don't take the freaking loss. Recover from zero, make $150, get the hell out of there, right? I mean, think about that. I know that you're recovering in a different rhythm there, Waylon, but most people, when I lose, I just do this instead. I get my money back, then I restart. Well, shit, just do that to start with, right? If you can make 150 whenever you feel like it, then make 150 whenever you feel like it and get out of the damn casino. All right, we're out, guys. One more thing, and then we'll let you I'll let you all go here. The stay in focus, right? Remember from our friend Lou, the acronym bookends, right? We start with the bridge, we end with focus. Follow your plan, observe the conditions, control your emotions, understand the game you're playing, and stay disciplined. Stay in focus all the time. And I'll leave you with my final inspiration. It's the same as was last time we spoke. I love this one so much. The idiot admires complexity. The genius admires simplicity. That just bleeds through everything in life. And I think that a lot of the things that I see on this channel, hey, try this strategy. They're so complex. They're 5 steps. It's too much. It's too much. The casino loves that stuff. Keep it simple. What Skill's done here today, simple, easy. Don't come. Pardon me. Don't come. And a cross bet, a 1-hit regression, and go. That's it. It's 3 steps. It's easy. Keep it simple. You can't screw it up, and you don't put money at risk in weird spots without understanding how your stuff all works together. That's it, everybody. I'll see y'all tomorrow. God bless y'all, and John's out. Bye.